Brush gets a brace from Paige Gordon and records a 3-0 win over visiting North on Monday night in a Division I sectional semifinal at Corb Field in Lyndhurst. Pretty solid work here from the Arcs, I thought. There were glimpses of combination play in the opening 40, but they really put it together from an attacking flow standpoint there in the second half. Gordon obviously had a great match with a couple of lovely finishes. When I saw the Arcs earlier in the year against Kenston, she was playing more as a sweeper. In this match, playing in a little bit more of a holding midfield role, but with some creative license to jump into the attack, and she took advantage of that. Both she and Tim told me after the match that coming into this match on the training ground, they had worked on shooting from distance because of how North was employed in the defensive third, and they executed that beautifully when they needed to. 3 great finishes from distance, 2 from Paige, 1 from Bailey Kalin to see through the result here. And, you know, we talked earlier in the year about how promising that striking duo is for Brush. Kennedy Kemp and Maya Canaday. Kennedy with her size and her pace out wide and her willingness to float into midfield to get touches. Canaday is a hard worker, has shown glimpses of being a very solid finisher. It's a duo that meshes well together. But I think in this match, what really got things going for Brush was the midfield play was tremendous, and Elizabeth Schultz was a field general in this match with the ball winning. The through balls were tremendous with pace and intent in the second half, trying to spring Kemp up top and Canaday up top. It was just a commanding match all the way around for Elizabeth Schultz here, and she had a lot to do with this result. And the defensive third, I thought Naviel Gales had a nice opening 40. Smart, physical, kept her side organized in the back as Brush got more comfortable in the offensive third. And then once they got control there, you know, it was 3-0. And I think they got a little too defensive third reliant after it got to 3-0, but that's nitpicking. Obviously, you don't want to see anything crazy happen. You want to just see through the result once you get it to a 3-goal margin. So you can't really complain too much about that. With North, the ball winning and the through balls and the work off the ball was okay at times in the opening 40, but unfortunately it just kind of got away from them there in the second half. The work rate was there from time to time. The ideas were there from time to time, but they just needed a breakthrough and they could never quite find it. With a lot of young girls in the side though, hopefully Mark is able to turn the page with this group. And we can see better fortune from the Rangers going forward after a 2-win campaign this season. But for Brush, kudos to them. It's been a long time since Brush has been in double-digit wins. I've at least 15 years, going back to the good old days with Molly Ruano, Melissa DeLotte, Jason McCauda, and in that group. It's been a long time, and obviously this decade they've struggled with their form as well. 3, 4, 5 wins at times. It's been tough. And for them to be able to get to this point, obviously that NDCL sectional final is a lot to ask for this side because the Lions have attacking arsenal for days with Lainey Burkich in midfield and Lauren Thomas and Erica Line-Weber and Marina Hess up top. That crew is a load in the offensive third, so Brush is really going to have to lock it down there in the defensive third if they want to hang with NDCL in this upcoming match. But after struggling against North in WRC play, losing them 4-1, and after the struggles that Brush has had as a program for much of this decade, good for them to be able to see out a result here in the postseason and go into Munson Township on Thursday for a sectional final in style after a 3-0 win over North on Monday.